everybody, welcome to the preview segment of the Three Quarters podcast, your official podcast for the 2018 Rugby Africa Gold Cup. Also remember to jump onto the hashtag Road to Japan to support your team as they look to qualify for the Rugby World Cup in 2019 in Japan. I'm Jimmy Duffield.
And I'm Ngara Kamuya. Now, Rugby Africa have partnered with APO Group to present you with a chance to travel to Japan during the 2019 Rugby World Cup and to get a chance to meet the 2018 Rugby Africa Gold Cup champions. Of course, the winners of this year's Gold Cup are going to be the representatives of Africa on the global stage. How do you do this? Head to africalovesrugby.com and follow the instructions.
Yep. Yeah. Well, exciting.
It is exciting.
People should go do that.
They should do that.
So we're looking at match day 3 now of the Rugby Africa Gold Cup for this year. Mm-hmm. And next games we have Kenya versus Zim. Definitely going to be a cracker of a game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They both teams have a sort of similar way of playing. They've got hard runners, hard hitters.
Yeah.
You know, but what do you think in terms of Kenya? I think for Kenya they can't start sort of wish-washy against Zim.
Yeah.
I think if Kenya start like that, Zimbabwe are definitely going to take advantage of it. They've got a few players who are pretty experienced, and they will utilize that. I mean, they'll use that to their benefit.
Yeah. First, let me start by saying both teams have a lot of work to do from their previous encounters.
Yep.
Zimbabwe drawing with Morocco at home 23-23, and Kenya just scrapping away a win away in Casablanca against Morocco 28-24. So for Kenya, what do I think they need to do? They need to get their selection right. Yep. That's the first thing I think head coach Ian Snook needs to do, because as much as you wanted to experiment, or he wanted to experiment with Darwin Mkhitaryan at number 10 versus Morocco and Biko Adema at 15, who I think was okay because Biko has played internationally at that position before. I think he needs to get his selection right, and unfortunately for him, I would understand where he's coming from in terms of they have not had enough time to get a look at the players, but I would advise not to try out things during a World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
Just go with
it. This is not the time to try that.
Yes, this is not the time to try that out. So get their selections right. Number 2, I understand that Isaac Adimo, number 10, or the traditional number 10 for Kenya, and Jacob Oje, who's the blindside winger for Kenya, were unable to travel to Morocco because they had some examinations. You could see their absence, and you could feel their absence on that game versus Morocco. So I feel that Isaac Adimo and Jacob Oje need to be available for the Kenyans if they're to have a shot against Zimbabwe at home. They're going to be coming up against a very stable and a very experienced backline. And the two people I think about is Shinji Katsivere at number 15 and Hilton's Mudariki at number 9. Yep. They're going to be very explosive, and they're going to test the Kenyans. Hilton's Mudariki at the base of the rock. When they played last year in Bulawayo, he was very destructive, and before the Kenyans settled into the game. So the Kenyans will need to be aware of that, and hence goes to what we were saying, that they need to be, the head coach and the assistant coach need to be very careful with the selection. Of course, I'd like to mention about the Kenyans, the reports coming out about the union is in problem, so I think that's also going to be a factor in how the Kenyans prepare for this week's encounter. But I mean, that side shows. Let's focus on what the game is. For Zimbabwe, I think that they need to convert their chances. They definitely have the talent, they definitely have the class to beat the Kenyans in Nairobi, but they'll need to convert their chances. That is what was their biggest problem when they played Morocco in Harare. They'll need to convert their chances on the day. They'll need to be clinical in their execution, and that's the only way they'll be able to beat the Kenyans. Remember, in terms of athletic capability, in terms of running, in terms of expansive games, no one matches up to the Kenyans, and if they give them that field day, then they're going to have a problem. What's the other thing I think they should be doing? They have, in my opinion, I think the best open side flank on the continent, say for the South Africans, and that's Connor Pritchard at number 7. Connor Pritchard will need to dominate the breakdown and choke Kenya's ball, because if Kenyans get the quick ball moving, then it's going to be a problem for Zimbabwe. So Connor Pritchard will need to dominate the breakdown if they're to have a shot at beating the Kenyans in Nairobi.
Definitely going to be an exciting game to watch. I cannot wait to watch that game. I'm sure Kenyans and Zimbabweans alike can't wait for that encounter. Then we have the Morocco versus Namibia game after that. And Morocco hosting Namibia. I think the game will probably go in favor of Namibia. I mean, they've had very convincing showings so far. And I mean, just looking at Morocco's previous games, you know, they played against them, they drew 23-23. They played against Kenya, they lost 24-28. And the Namibians are just, I mean, right now they're like in a class of their own. So I think it will be a challenging game in the sense that Morocco are not going to be like Namibia's last opponent, which was Tunisia. But I feel they will have a hard day
in the office. Morocco are definitely going to rely heavily on their superior park. I think they match up to the Namibians in their forward park, but they'll need to convert their chances. They cannot be as scrappy as they were when they played Kenya, so they'll need to convert their chances against the Namibians, because the Namibians are very good at capitalizing on your mistake, so on your mistakes. So they'll need to convert their chances. Himdon Shaqiri will need to be good off the boot. Hopefully he's going to, he walked off with an injury when they played Kenya, so I'm hoping that he will have recovered when they play Namibia, because he will need to be on point to get his backline moving. And if then their dominance in the forward play results in some infringements, they will need him for the kicks.
Definitely.
Namibia, this is the first time they're going to encounter a devastating forward pack. They haven't done that in the last two games against Uganda and Tunisia. They might have a superior in terms of technical capabilities, but the Moroccans definitely are heavier, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be a tough one for Namibia. What do they need to do? They just need to do what they've been doing.
Keep it going.
Just keep it going. And patience. This one will need a lot of patience, because the other two games, they've been quick off the blocks. Against Morocco, away to Morocco, they'll need a lot of patience. They'll need to believe in their game plan. They'll need to believe in their systems. And just keep it tight to their forwards. I think they're better conditioned than the Moroccans. So I think they'll run the ball also a bit more. And they should be able to match up to the Moroccans. How do I think it's going to pan out? Look, Morocco have been everyone's darling. I think so far in the 2018 Rugby Africa Gold Cup. But I just feel that Namibia's technical prowess is going to be evident on the day. And as a result of that, I would actually be putting my money on Namibia. I don't know about you.
I'd definitely put my money on Namibia, but just one thing maybe that Morocco can try capitalize on. I mean, I know that Namibia do have a better conditioned side, but you notice, like in the game against Uganda, the last maybe 5-10 minutes before the end of each half, they sort of slowed down, and you could tell that's when, you know, the fatigue was checking in, and that's where maybe a team needs to capitalize. I mean, yes, fine, you struggled through most of the half, but just towards the end, punish them for, you know, just
slagging.
Basically.
It's yes, you're right that they were slowing down towards the last 10 minutes of each half, but on the other hand, you must also take into account the fact that they were playing weaker opposition at that time, so they had the luxury to put the foot off the gas pedal. But I do agree with you, they cannot afford to do that when they're going to be playing Morocco. Morocco, one thing works for Namibia in this game actually. When Morocco played Zimbabwe, everyone said, oh, maybe it was a fluke. Kenya going to deal with them. When Kenya played Morocco, you're like, okay, maybe it's not a fluke. It's not a fluke. These guys are here to play.
Then you see why they were promoted.
Exactly. Then you see why they were promoted. So when Namibia comes up against Morocco, I think they'll have it at the back of their minds. Look, these guys are no flukes. They actually know what they're doing. So Namibia have that benefit of they cannot underestimate Morocco, but again, they cannot underestimate
Morocco.
They're going to come all guns blazing.
So I look forward to seeing those games, and I hope everyone else is going to watch them. And also, you know, they'll join us for the review after the games. I can't wait for this one.
That's true. This one is going to be very interesting.
Definitely. Remember, you can jump onto the hashtag Road to Japan to support your team, as all these teams are looking to qualify for the Rugby World Cup in 2019 in Japan. Also, remember, you can find us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram, like our page on Facebook, and subscribe subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Demima Duffy.
And I'm Nora Kamuya.
I look forward to seeing these guys in the review segment.
For match day 3.
Yep.